So, welcome to Sib Fishing Adventures UK. We've got basically an idiot's guide to servicing a two-stroke today. Gearbox oil change, I'm going to pull the carb off, check the bowl, probably give it ultrasonic clean, check compression, drain the gearbox oil, change impeller, change the plugs, and yeah. So I'll just run through quick simple things now. This is a 2006 model, lovely example, 18 horsepower. Basically all the way from the 8.0, yeah, even the 8 horsepower, up to the 25, everything will practically be the same, as in how you take it apart, you service. It's a fine clean example of this, lovely engine. And I missed out on the opportunity of buying it back last summer. So, first things first, gearbox oil. Bottom screw first, then the top one. If you take the top one first, the pressure in there might blow oil everywhere, and you don't want that in your face, it stinks. Then, the gear lever here is, as you can see, roll pins. Knock them through with an hammer. I'm pulling the other side with a pliers. 13mm bolts. Drop them off and the leg will come off. But they can take some getting off. So yeah, the washer is stuck in there. So notice on it. So, and a good thing as well, you'll see if there's any water in the gearbox. You won't see straight away, it'll be at the end. So here we go. Gear oil looks pretty good, to be honest with you. Yeah, seals are all still intact. So yeah, my last draining now, I'll get it, pull the plugs off, have a look at the plugs, and they are BR7 HS10s, yeah, good plugs, So, let's just put you down by there. Not too bad. Maybe too much two-stroke a little bit, but a bit too much is always good. Bottom plug exactly the same. So we got two good even burns on them, so I'm not worried about anything else. Ours looks a good burn. So what we'll do now, we'll do a quick compression test. Ideally, you're looking, this is pretty new, but usually on older motors you're looking for over 90. But to be honest with you, I'd be looking for over 120 per cylinder on this. At least. You can do it wide open throttle. I know a lot of people will go, oh, you should be doing a wide open throttle. If we're being fussy, you should be doing it at cold, you should be doing it at warm, you should be doing wide open throttle. I just 5 pulls of this now. If we're up over 100, you know she's good. So I'll move you back. Get 5 pulls. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 5. 5 pulls. Fabulous. So we'll check the bottom now. And ideally you want them within 10%. Within 10%, which I have no doubt that this will be. So again, you want 5 pulls. Make sure you've released the air. Spot on, exactly the same. Fabulous. So, compression. Very good. And that's not wide open throttle. If you open the throttle on now, you'll probably get 130. When he's warm, probably go up more as well. So, you know, that is a good engine. Do a spark test now. I always do this because sometimes I do a service and they go 2 weeks later, they might have a problem and there's no spark. So I always check the spark. I'll knock the light out now while I pull him over. And you're looking for a nice strong spark in there. I'll put it by here. Lovely. check the other one. Yeah, that's there. But yeah, good spark on both. So basically, it's the carburetor. Gotta get the carburetor off. Take it from me. So, still draining fuel. Carburetor plugs out the front. Usually a Phillips in here, Phillips head. Don't be too worried. People look at carbs and they go, I'm not touching her. Honestly, it is absolutely simple. To get your airbox off. Usually the airbox and the choke now will be linked in one. They should just slide off. On a Tohatsu, that is. Yep, so see, that's your choke lever. And it just slots straight down in there. That slot there. And that hook goes on there. So when you put him back on, it is simple as that. And screw him up. This rod here pulls out. When you take carb off, that just pulls out. And it's easy. So what I'll do now is 10mm bolts here. I'll get a carb off, have a quick look at him, and I'll take you through taking the carb apart. So what we'll do now, we'll quickly get the bowl off, and we'll drop him straight in the ultrasonic cleaner there. I clean it in petrol. I'll put a little plastic bowl, fill it with a petrol, and I drop this carb in there. I do apologise, you know, if I could fast forward this up without spending hours of editing, I would. But it is what it is. But this will give you the first glance now. If there's any any goo in the carb. To be honest, that is spanking clean. Quite surprised at that. Yeah. We'll drop them in with the ultrasonic cleaner. While that's cleaning now, I'll quickly run you through. Little Phillips here. These, I gotta say, these are the best faults that you can get. You don't need to undo that fully. You can just lift him up. Good. But we will. We'll take him completely out. And that's your valve then for your fuel inlet on the bottom. Just watch them. They do pretty good, but yeah, it's a relatively clean carburetor. It's a rubber stop in here, that's for your low speed idle. If you do take that out, make sure you don't lose that, because that will, you won't start it without that. But I'll run this over to the compressor now, and blow him full of air, take that high speed jet. High speed jet's out, very low speed jet in there as well, I'll remove that. That other valve in there got holes in as well, so you can push that down in there. And give that a clean out as well, so all this I'll put in there and have a clean. I'll put him on the compressor then. Oh, I'll quickly show you this while we're here. Use flatheads really, because these are Japanese, so they're not true Phillips. A flathead, you do no damage then. But I'm hoping we'll get a low speed idle out soon. Should be another rubber grommet in here too. Yep. Should pull out. Just make sure when you put them back in, they will go back in. Good idea to take photos. But this is relatively clean, so I'll get a low speed out now, give that a clean out, get them on a compressor, drop them in there, and I'll bring you back when I'm putting them together. They are good motors, these Tohatsus. All the Japanese engines are good. So, put him down to gear lock, and she easily drops out. Bring him back up, because you need to pull see the roll pin? You need to pull that out, see? And then the leg will drop out. So, all you do, Just pull that forward. And then the leg will drop out. So I need both hands here now to save losing or it dropping and damaging. So all you do, simple as, don't need a bit of leverage. And that's it. Dropped out. So 3 bolts on this one then for your water pump. 10mm. 10mm. I would say so. 10mm. Just loosen them up. Just be careful when taking these off. When you do lift them up, there's usually a key, a shaft key to keep your impeller tight. So while I get these off, I will get a socket set a minute to do that. I'll be back. So here's now the fuel pump. Good tip. Not like me here, I haven't put the plugs back in the bottom, so you're going to have gearbox oil on the floor. When you remove this now, there's a key. Like a woodruff key. Keep that, you need that. Just remove this, and then you can take the impeller out of the bottom. It's a good bolt. This is a very clean engine, fair play to it. When you are putting jets and that back in, use clean tools. Don't have greasy head tools and got all dust on and screwdrivers with dust. So I just put the low speed jet back in there and before I thought it'd be a good idea to put gloves on, so and push record. So just remember that a rubber grommet goes on the low speed, otherwise you won't start. But look how nice and clean they've come up in a ultrasonic cleaner. So that goes back down in your high speed. I've added in the air compressor so it's all nice and clean. Then your high speed jet goes back in. You don't need the beam man to tighten them up, just they are brass, so don't go too mad. Right, your petrol inlet, so that just goes on there. It's good because if you know, like the Evan roads and now, you've got to mess around with springs, but this is pretty easy. So that drops down in there. It is simple, and then the Phillips to hold them in place. It's mad because they got Phillips inside, but they got like Japanese tool on the outside. But yeah, just make sure he's tight, and you will see then how it works. So when your carburetor is full, empty, and when it's full, you'll shut it off. Empty, full. So yeah. Good. Angle goes up there. Just remember this flat, go flat there. It just keeps the screw neat and tidy. So when you do come to selling it or pulling your twisted screws don't look unpresentable and look tacky like. So yeah. Don't need to, like I said, don't need to go super tight. And then the bottom, we'll clean them screws there. Fabulous. That was some cleaner doing the job there. Right, so yeah, it can only go one way. So if it don't fit, don't force it. It'll only go one way. Put your 2 corners in. Just finger tight. Like I said, these carburetors are pretty much the same on the Yamaha, Tohatsu, Mercury, Mariner. The Yamaha is a Cayman carb, and practically they're all the same. All the same insides, all the same floats, more or less. Japanese products are usually the best. So just go around them all, give it a tighten up. And that is your carburetor stripped, cleaned, and put back together. Your idle screw is a good reset. Is all the way in, finger tight again. You don't want to be going too far because there's a little needle on the end, and you don't want to blunt now or damage it. And then out 1.5. That'll get you started, and then you can fine tune at a later date. Then, whether you're on the water, or it's always better to fine tune when you're on the water because muffs. I don't like muffs, but muffs you'll just get it started, and you've got no back pressure, if you like, on the exhaust and that to get you fine tuned on your carb. but this 1.5 out will get you started, and you can have a mess around, and it's only a matter of half a turn, quarter of a turn, in or out to where his sweet spot is. So what we'll do now, we will get him back on. So same again, it can only go one way. So when you put this on now, your camera roller linkage, your throttle linkage will slide in like so. You get your 10mm bolts. It'll take you 2 hours tops to do a good service on this, and it's good to do it yourself because you get the understanding, you get to know your motor, as well as anything goes that happens on the water, you got a good understanding of how to fix it or what it is. So that's back on, simple. I hope you can see that, but nice and clean carburetor. I will get the gearbox and choke, so I'll show you the choke now. As you can see, that up there goes over that cam roller. That slides into that choke lever. There's a little slot in there, so simple. So all it does is slides in, over. It's done, isn't it? It's easy. Obviously, when you've got it all apart, like I didn't show you then, clean all this out, make sure there's no dust in here or dirt and grit. Put all your grommets back on. So the last thing you want is taking this off, starting them back up, and dragging dirt and grime through your carb because you didn't clean them out. I'm not going to flood the channel with outboard repairs and services. Like this video will cover a lot of Tohatsu models, Mercury, Mariner, from the 2000, it's a lot of rebrands that Tohatsu done. It's a nightmare, this grommet, yeah. Yeah, this video will be the same for the 9.8. If you're lucky enough to find a 15 of these, 15, 18, 20, 25, they're all pretty much, everything is different. It's the size of the carburetor, the reeds, and the displacement. Everything else is practically identical, apart from the weight. But yeah, what an engine. Just something else I like to do as well. Just your paintbrush, grease up all your moving parts. It's a good quality oil this anyway, so I wouldn't use anything other than a good quality. But all your moving parts, just chuck a bit of grease on there. It keeps everything moving freely. Especially on a rainy day like today, if you've got nothing planned, just come in, give it a grease. And something else I like to do as well, I always do, because if you've got to take your engine apart, just WD-40. Just keeps everything nice and clean, gets all the grit out, dirt out. So, here we are, service kit. Comes with your oil, plugs, impeller, filter, plate, impeller plate. What I normally do, the service kit comes with this oil all the time, GL4 90 weight. I fill that up, use the pump. It's a lot easier than getting a nozzle in the bottom of the gearbox, and just pump it in. But yeah, let's get him back together then. So, first things first is the impeller. So let's get all these to the side, and we will get the gearbox up now. So, woodruff clay, don't forget that, and a nice and lovely, once it's clean, water pump housing. So, what I like to do, bit of grease. Just helps everything go back together tidy. And so we will put the plate back on. Let's have a look, see if you can see. Get this plate back on, put like so. There's only one way you can go. Impeller. Right, get your woodruff key, turn your... Put your key in, find a gap and slide him down. Same with this then, we've greased him up, so it shall go. Goes. And then just a bit of force, turn him. Bit of grease on the end of the bolt. Just a little dip or so. Obviously clean all the bolts up while it's out and apart. Just makes a good installing when you put it back together. I have got a 10mm socket, yeah. Sorry, that's all I'm doing is tighten them up. Still haven't put a gearbox oil in yet. I do that last once it's all together, and just makes the job a lot easier then with an empty gearbox, your oil then coming out everywhere. Again, you don't need to be super tight on them. And what we'll do now, quickly, we'll get our gearbox. Get our gearbox on the oil in there. So, now I need my big screwdriver. All you do, we just pump, just keep pumping him full until he comes out to the top. And these Quicksilver pumps, they're awesome. Just saves a lot of hassle. Can you see there? Oh, I'm a bit too far away. Nice big gearbox this, isn't it? So you can see him. So don't need to leak a bit out anyway, you know what I mean? Sure what gives, stinks. Right, so I put the gearbox back on. All you gotta do is hold your linkage, push them straight up. You've got your pin that gotta go through there now, and then it's just a matter of tightening the bolts. It's easy. Everything lines up, so you haven't got to worry about matching your water pickup. It's all there, so it's all good. So let's get these bolts back on. And the good thing about this, some motors you've got long nuts to connect the shift rods with, Yamaha for one, and you can guarantee the shift lever always needs adjusting after you've done an impeller change. You know, they won't go into gear tidy, or you won't go into reverse, or neutral's too far back. But I love this design, it's brilliant. So, while I tighten that up, put the pin in, all we're waiting on now, we've got to do fuel filter and put the plugs in, and then we're ready to go. We'll put them in a tank and we'll get them running. So, while I tighten all these up and change the fuel filter, a new fuel filter there, fuel filter, Tohatsu, all genuine parts, we'll see you in the tank.
Fuel line. Primer map. Chalk. Bit of revs. Running lovely too. That's what you're looking for, a good water outlet. Ticking over lovely, and I haven't had to do nothing with that carburetor. But probably turn the idle speed down a bit. So there we have it, a lovely start to finish service on a Tohatsu 18 horsepower. E-stream is there, it's ticking over lovely, and I will continue to do some more of these videos. I won't do many, it'll be just the ones we use, because lifting them in and out of this barrel, it's not good for anyone. My next video will hopefully be this weekend on my new 3.9 XL. Testing them on the water for the first time, and also I will be doing a video on how to anchor, what anchors I use, what method I do, and using a drone anchor as well. So stay tuned, give us a thumbs up if you want to see anything in particular, or any particular engine you want to see service, so you've got a better understanding yourself. And thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and don't forget to check out South Wales Sib Anglers page, because that's where it all started. So yeah, thank you.